Hello, trading is closed on January 30th, 2020. Let's go over our calls. We had an optional target of 32.72.49 and that printed. Looked for the pattern with the early low. We got that. Tends to rally into the final hour. We got that. Now we did say that a big drop usually leads to further weakness down the line. I think that's true, but to be honest, when you rally like this, it kind of invalidates that particular tendency. Doesn't mean it won't happen, just means you can't rely on it. Well, during the day, we got an ultimate buy signal, an ultimate sell signal. There's no time limit on these, but this whole rally is called by MEJT as false. Says we're going to undercut that low. And the ultimate sell signal says we're going lower. Here are the numbers. Of course, if we gap up, they're off the table. It doesn't mean I'm predicting they won't print. It just means I'm not predicting they will. Well, here's what we said. Pretty much repeats what we said before. Early low, here are the patterns for next week. Somebody wrote me a little nasty letter saying how Elliott wave was worthless for day traders. Well, you know, if something is, if you don't find it helpful, then just, keep your mouth shut. You don't have to badmouth other systems you don't like. Turns out we had an ABC from top to bottom, and A was twice C, so it helped validate that as the low. You also might want to notice we had this big drop, and at the low, we couldn't undercut any of these prior lows, so that drop didn't accomplish anything. And here we have this big rally, and at the close, you couldn't overtake any of these prior highs. So for now, at least, that rally didn't accomplish anything, in addition to leaving these targets behind. We have another volume spike that looks nice, but this is the one that counts, and this one's not higher. That's the spike, and that one isn't. Now, here's what I've got. Monday's low is a 38.2% correction off of this high. Here's the retest. We gapped down, printed a new low, a lower low, and recovered all the prior lows and all the prior highs. Let's look at that again. Low, lower low, recover the lows, recover the highs. And that's positive stuff. Assuming you maintain it, or if you maintain it and reverse it shortly thereafter, it doesn't really count. The catch is we have lower targets, and we have this TD line. Now the TD line, DeMark has certain criteria for moves which stick and moves which don't. And this did not meet his sustainability criteria when you cross the line. It doesn't mean you have to recover like this. It just means if you drop, you're at least going to recover to the line, but you don't really have to go any further. This isn't a move of staying power. But if you go through it again, those rules don't count, just the first challenge. So right now, there's your 38.2% retracement. The retest, a rally, which as of yet hasn't accomplished anything. So far, all you've done is make a Fibonacci retracement of this big drop. That's 50%. I'm always looking for new indicators. This is one that seems to work, but I don't want to test it when there are all kinds of other people around with computer skills. So I'm going to ask anybody who can program to see if this setup from today's pattern works, because I've seen this one quite a few times. Just like to know if it's worth trading. We have a strong gap down, promptly recover. Here's the end of the first hour of trading. In the bar after the first hour of trading, 30 to 35 minutes after the hour, you don't hit a new low. And then after 40 minutes after the hour, you do hit a new low. And what I've noticed is further, you have to wait that long to break to a new low. You might go lower, but it doesn't really stick. And once you recover it, that tends to be the low of the day, a high percentage of the time. Or if you break it, you don't break it by much. So the question is, can you use this to trade? Is that the low of the day? I should say, give a point or two leeway on this one. Or if at least is it going to hold until 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't think it works for gaps up, but I don't know. Let's just put in point or two leeway there. Didn't write that down. Give or take a point or two. All right. And if someone can program it, can program his computer, test this out and tell me if it works at this address, I'll publish the results so everybody can see if that works or not. Okay, so how about tomorrow? Friday's pattern has the early low. Future suggests we're gapping up. That isn't impossible. But today's drop is a retest of the low. When it rallied, we left unfilled targets. We broke a line that calls for another retest, which fails, and probably fails big. Breadth didn't improve on the rally. We have this wall into the close. Often it gaps down, or else you gap up and reverse it promptly. If we do gap up tomorrow, and we've been up all night, it's a good candidate for a gap and trap. I mean, you gap up and then give it all back. The ongoing prediction is this high is going to hold for a while. We're going to have a drop of around 200 points, give or take some. But until we really close under some prior lows, we just can't be 100% certain that's right. That's what I'm assuming for now. But again, I take things a day at a time, reserve the right to change my mind. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. Futures are indicating we gap up. If we gap up, there's a good chance we have a gap and trap, and these numbers may be on the table after all. And that's today's call.